Guilty Gear Strive. Teach me.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me episode with Eno. We have a fantastic player. Introduce yourself, man.
Oh, what's up? My name is SonicSol. I'm primarily a streamer, but I love to compete in tournaments. I've played for a long time in the FGC, roughly about 10 or so years, because I started out with Street Fighter 4. But I mainly, played other games later on. So I played a plethora of games. And my main four would be Street Fighter 5, Grand Blue, Guilty Gear Strive right now, and Samurai Showdown. I've placed in a few tournaments, and I've done pretty well throughout my career. And my main focus that I normally have with fighting games now is just to kind of like help people see like what depth there is in fighting games and how enjoyable they are, and also see the process as well. So a lot of these things is, kind of what I'm known for. And I'm also known, for taking the games a little too seriously, playing a little too hard, so there's that too. So yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Oh, thank you very much, man. That was quite an intro. Yeah, I didn't know you played those other games. I thought it was just you played Guilty Gear, but that's good to know that you play other games.
Yeah, so, like I like fighting games, man.
No, that's a good to hear. All right, so Eno has our archetype of rush. So can you explain what her archetype is? Basically, it's rush down, but like how do you rush down an opponent?
So the thing about Eno, right, is she's a rushdown character, as the game will tell you at the character select, but the way she goes about it is different than other characters, right? Because, for instance, Giovanna is also a rushdown, but she's got, like, movement that's a dash. Her movement, Eno's, is a hover hop. So she doesn't have conventional basic movement like other characters. And Giovanna, she's going to be dashing in, doing close slash on you, trying to start pressure on, right? Whereas Eno is more of using this hover dash to kind of like start high-low pressure. And as well as getting around using a lot of tools that advance across the screen, such as Stroke the Big Tree and Sultry Performance, right? So she's got a lot of these big lunging moves that she's going to come through with. She's also got, this very interesting note as well. She's got a lot of tools to kind of like somewhat control mid-range, but not really, because these tools are very risky. So she's more or less approaching you in this very unconventional way. And when she gets started, that's when the whole like mix-up city happens with high-low mix-ups and throws. So that's her approach to rushdown. Milia is another example where she does high-low set play and left-rights, but her movement, Milia, is more conventional. The main thing is that Eno's movement is very unconventional. It's very unorthodox. So that's the difference in her rushdown.
Nice. So in terms of key moves, can you go through Eno's like normal, specials, and super moves?
Yeah, for sure. So to start out, right, some of her main tools that you'll be seeing as far as normals go will be like 2HS. 2HS has a really good disjoint. There's no disjointed hurt box, basically meaning that the hitbox for this move is directly in front of Eno, and there's no hurt box tied to the guitar explosion that you see there. So it's only behind the guitar that there's an actual hurt box. This normal's really good. It's 11 frame startup, just like 2S, but the difference is that it doesn't have the same vulnerability that 2S has, right? 2S goes, a little bit further than 2HS, obviously, but has this terrible, like, hurt box to it. So a lot of Eno players tend to do 2HS a bit more in comparison. The other normals that she has as well, she's got, like, far slash, which is another disjointed button. It's a little slower at 16 frames, but this acts in part to the old version of Chemical Love, which we'll talk about later. But basically, this move is another decent poke that she can use kind of within the mid-range. Again, it's not as strong as maybe 2HS, but it's still another thing to cover that, like, lower to mid body section that Chemical Love wouldn't cover within the neutral, right? Another normal that she has as well is, I would say, 5K. 5K is very fast at 7 frames compared to the other normals we talked about. This button is really good at stuffing a lot of moves preemptively. In certain matchups like Mei or Nagori Yuki, where they're doing Beyblade or they're doing, like, Dolphin, if you can't preemptively use, like, 2HS, you can use 5K as a faster poke to kind of stop approaches. It's not really something that you're going to be focused on too much with Ino in terms of like staying in one position for neutral per se, but it's more or less trying to stop specific tools that are used to come at you preemptively. Another button that's pretty useful as well for Ino is 6P. 6P, you know, tried and true, every character's 6P is really good, but I think Ino 6P is one of the best in the game. The way the hurtbox and hitbox interactions are with this normal is kind of good, and it's pretty fast. Roughly, you know, it's 9 frames, so it's on the faster side of 6Ps in the game. And the best part about it is that you tend to see Inos use this a lot, even on defense in Abare situations. So Abare to mash, right? You see that they use it there. And they also use it as one of her main anti-airs, because the one thing to note is that her buttons, she doesn't have really strong anti-airs outside of maybe 6P. She's got this like preemptive anti-air that she could use with 6HS, right? The 6HS is 7 frame startup, but it only starts up and it becomes active on the ground, and on the later frames it becomes a disjointed anti-air. But 6P is probably the best normal to use when trying to anti-air people, when you're not trying to air people, right? So yeah, those are her grounded normals that I would say she's got really good uses for. I would say 2K as well, but 2K is mostly like for like situations revolving around offense, right? So there's that. Now, as far as air normals go, right, you've got Jump HS. Jump HS is a really, really good button to be using as an air-to-air. It's slow as opposed to other normals that she has in the air, but it has a wide hitbox. It goes very, very far, and it can actually go above her head if you could, like, jump above me for a minute. Like, if you could just jump above me, like, double jump.
Oh, you went to double jump,
Yeah.
okay.
Yup. Like, double jump. Like that, yup. See how it goes like really high up above her head? It's a really, really good air-to-air normal that can be used. And the best part about it is it's pretty active. So you can kind of use this one air-to-air to kind of confirm things, especially on counter hit. So like for instance, if this were to hit, I could get like HS sultry performance. Let me try to do it one more time. Let me reset too so you don't die. Ooh. I could charge it up so that way it can hit. Let me just go ahead and do that one more time. Whoops. Ooh. See, and you can get a confirm from that, right? So she's got a lot of ways to like use this button more or less for confirms or for air to airs, especially on counter hit. So you're going to be using this button in the air a lot next to Jump S. Jump S is a faster like button to be using outside of Jump HS. Jump S can kind of act like you know, ground to air or air to air situation, right? Where if they jump at you, you can kind of use it to essentially air to air as well. But more of these normals are going to be used primarily. These air normals are going to be used on the ground with your unique hover dash, right? So, yeah, essentially, those are some of the main like air normals that you'll see from her. But outside of that, of course, you got Jump P, which is very fast, good on defense if they try to jump at you. And Jump K, you don't really see it that much as far as air-to-air situations go. She also has Jump D, which is really, really strong, again, for like the hover dash situations. Now for her specials, right? So her specials, she's got a few of them. One being Chemical Love. Chemical Love is a very strong, like, mid-range tool in the sense of whiff punishment. A lot of people get it confused. Even the tutorial for the game, the starter guide for her, said that this is a really good poke, but it's not. Other characters can legit just run under this thing, so it's not something that you should be using to just throw out willy-nilly, right? If your opponent whiffs something, you should be reacting with Chemical Love, right? If they whiff this long-reaching move or like a long-reaching like active normal, Chemical Love should be used to whiff punish, right? It shouldn't be used to just throw out haphazardly or preemptively, right? So that's the strength in that move in the neutral. As far as situations regarding like where to use it otherwise, you're going to be mainly using it in corner combos, right? This is mostly like your tool that you're going to be using to kind of like get your stuff started within the corner for combos. But yeah, that's Chemical Love in a nutshell. Then you have her antidepressant scale, or as other people call it, Note. The antidepressant scale, it has a lot of recovery and a bit of startup. right? But the main use of this tool is that you can control it, right? So you can control this note, so that way it can go high, up high, or low to the ground, right? So it's a very like versatile projectile, but it's very slow. So most of the time you're gonna be using this either from full screen to kind of like check to see what the opponent might do to it, if they'll jump over it, if they'll approach, or you're going to be using this mainly in Oki, in situations to guide the note downward, right? Now, the note in and of itself will have more hits depending on how far the note goes. So you see it's going to do up to 5 hits there, but if I'm up close, it's only going to do 1 hit, right? So it becomes more active the further away you are from the opponent or from how long the move has been out, right? So that's the note in and of itself. Then, of course, she has her dive kick. She has sultry performance. You can perform this by doing the kick version, which is 236 plus K, 236 plus S, or 236 plus HS, right? So those 3 versions, she's got 3 different ways in which she moves across the screen with this dive kick. And the K version doesn't go very far. The S version goes a little bit further, and this is going to be primarily what you're going to be using as well to get in with whiff punishment. If you see your opponent whiff something on the ground, you're going to be using this normal to whiff, or this special move to whiff punish them and get started, especially because this normal gives you pressure afterwards with Stroke the Big Tree, right? Now, if the opponent blocks this move, so if you block this, right? If you block it, it's not an overhead. It can be blocked crouching, right? All of these can be blocked crouching, as opposed to their previous iterations in Exard. And if you block this, it is -6. It is punishable. So I'm gonna need you to do 2K for me.
All right, hold on.
Yep, that's fine. Yep, you see how it's a punish? So you can get, some characters get 2K 2D, right? Some characters can get more, right? Soul, for instance, can get 2K into 6HS Gatling to knock you down. But the point is, you don't want to be throwing this move out too much unless you have bar to cancel it. The main purpose of this move is more or less to whiff punish or to get in when you have 50 meter to roaming cancel, right? But you can hop afterwards with it. So if I hop, it's actually -4. It's safe. So if you were to press 5P after you see the hop, I can block, right? But if I press the button, I'm going to get counter hit, right? Because it's -4. So only characters with a 4 or 3 frame normal, so Soul Bad Guy 5K will definitely punish you. Chip 5P can punish you, and Giovanna's, her 5P can also punish you. So those characters are kind of the characters that can kind of stop you for doing the hop afterwards from the HS or from any sultry performance, any dive kick, right? The other thing too is she can charge it. So if she charges it, you actually can't punish her. So if I charge it, it's less negative, right? So if you did 2K here, see, you can't punish it. It's safe. And if I hop after, it's even safer, right? So you could press even your 5P here, and I should be able to counter hit, right? Your 5P. See? So it becomes less negative, but it's not plus. It's still like -2 around that range. So the point is that you're going to be using this to kind of bait anti-airs when you charge that version. So yeah, that's the main difference. And yeah, the HS version is very, very negative. Very, very negative in the sense that it takes a while for her to land. So you're almost always going to hop with this. But it is good if you see somebody or you're trying to get in, especially if you have 50 tension, because then you can roam and cancel, right? So that's sultry performance. And then lastly, the main move she's known for, the main annoying move, is Stroke the Big Tree, the innuendo itself, right? She's got 2 versions. She's got the S version right here, and she's got the HS version. The HS version goes further than the S version, right? Mm-hmm. And both of these moves, the key thing about it is that they hit low. So stand up. If you try to block, they hit low, both of them, right? So if you actually try to block this, they hit low. Mm-hmm. So this move is one of the main primary ways she's going to get in. It hits as a low, and on top of that, it can go under a lot of normal. So try pressing 2P, right? Like try pressing 2P. Just mash 2P. like that. Yup. I can go underneath that. I can literally just go underneath it. So this can go under a lot of normals. You're going to be using this against projectiles too. So try doing your antidepressant scale. So that's 214 plus P, right? Yep, that. And try to guide it down a little bit. See how I go under it for a little bit? I can even punish you for doing it. It really low profiles. You have to direct the note like all the way down for me to not do it. See? So it can really low profile characters, moves, options, and projectiles. And it sneaks under a lot of different situations. And the thing is, the S version, the key thing to note is that the S version is -7 on block. So block this for me. Like crouch block it. Yep. You can press 2K and punish me. You gotta press it a little bit faster. There you go. See that? But the HS version is +2, meaning that it's still my turn. I can punish you for trying to take your turn back. See that? I'm counter hitting you.
That's sick.
And even worse is that if you don't respect me, I could do 6 HS afterwards and counter hit you and blow you up. So this move is very strong at, again, low profiling attacks. And if you block the HS version, she's +2. Now, the thing is, you can throw the HS version. So if you see that she's going to do the HS version, whether it be in a block string, right, you can throw it. So back plus D, you can see that. The moment you see the HS stroke, you just throw it.
Okay,
right?
try it.
Yeah, try it. Yep.
Ooh.
But I can do the S stroke and blow you up for that. Right? That's basically the mix-up that goes along with it, because you cannot crouch and throw at the same time. You must stand and throw. See that? So you automatically have to get up to deal with this move if you're trying to throw it. But at the same time, it's low, right? So there's a little bit of a mind game to it. Now, there's ways to go around this move and counter it, like doing fuzzy throw, right? So you basically just delay the throw so it only comes out for the HS stroke. But I won't get too deep into that. That's like a counter thing you can do. And yeah, I mean, HS stroke and S stroke are really, really strong, both on offense and in terms of neutral of getting in, right? It's one of the main ways outside of the dive kick that she's going to get in with. So yeah, those are pretty much all of her specials.
Okay.
And then as far as her supers go, she's got her Fortissimo, right? She's got 2 versions. I'm going to need meter for this. She's got the grounded version, and then she's got the air version, right? The difference between the grounded version and the air version, the grounded version, right, it has this first hit that comes up, and it's invincible on that first hit. And then the second hit, there's just a bunch of explosions that happen. The air version of this is not invincible at all, but it happens extremely fast. So most people are not expecting this at all. Even though it's not invincible, it comes out almost immediately, right? So you could try to 6P if you want to. You could try to just do 6P if I do the air version. And it's very, very hard. Like, it comes out immediately. You got to press it before it even comes out, right? And you could probably deal with it, right? Like, you can hit me out of it because it's not invincible, but it's very, very hard, right? Now, the main primary thing about this is that if you block the Fortissimo, right? Most people get the misconception. You can crouch block it. Most people get the misconception, oh, if I block this, right? You know, I can't punish afterwards. But you could actually punish her for the grounded version. You can press close slash.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to block the whole thing. You can just, when you see this, yeah, you punish it, right? So most Eno players, when they're approaching, they're going to want to do the air version. The reason why is because it comes out immediately, and more importantly, you see how your character gets staggered back like that? The last hit causes guard break. The last hit causes guard break, and she's plus. She's like plus 33. So she basically gets to re-engage for another mix-up. So if she's already doing a mix-up to you, well, not the grounded version, the air version. If she does a grounded like thing to you, she can start like her high-low game from that as well. So that's really the main point of Fortissimo, is that she can cash out her damage, or she can reinforce her mix-up and go for another high-low situation, right? Guard Crush is very, very strong in this game, as you already know. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. So she has another one, right?
Yep, she has one more super, and that is a command grab that also acts as a large projectile range attack called Megalomania. So this is what happens when it goes into animation. If the command grab is successful, you get this very like lewd animation into like mad damage, right? She does pretty much less. She pretty much does a little less than half health, right? But if she's near the corner, this will wall break, right? So half health, but if I'm near corner, this is gonna wall break. And it does really over 200, 239, right? So this is pretty much her high damage, like cash out super. This is what you're gonna see her end games with usually. The thing about this super, not only is it a command grab, but it has this large range of projectiles that you have to worry about as well, and they track. So if you were to even jump behind me, right? So you have the main thing to explain about the super is that you cannot jump this super after the super flash, right? Unlike Jacko's command grab, her Elysion driver, which is 11 plus 1 for the frame data for startup, this is 11 plus 0, meaning that if you do not hold up before the super flash, you are definitely going to get thrown. So I need you to hold up, like before the super comes out, right? Now, you did hold up, but you have to hold up forward to deal with this super. Because if you just hold up, the projectiles will still hit you and push you to full screen, right? Just block the super, by the way. Like, just block. They literally push you to full screen. So the only way to deal with the super is you must hold up forward before the super flash. And then you can punish it. See that? And the thing about it too is that if you just like she just flew over, but if you hold up forward, right? So the projectile should track. Like they even hit you behind them. Like they should track. I've had situations where that happens before, and it can also hit behind. Whoops. Like they have a hitbox behind her as well. See?
That's mad.
So you actually have to be careful. But they don't push when those projectiles hit you like that, they don't push you back. You can still punish her. So it's extremely punishable when you jump over her. So most people are like, oh, it hits behind her, that's crazy. But it's really punishable regardless if you jump behind her. So okay. Yeah, it's a very strong super on the surface, but really most people are going to be implementing this within the high-low set, like a high-low mix-up game, right? Because they have you block high. So for instance, like I do this, and then I go for the command grab instead of like doing the high-low, right? So yeah, those are all of her moves.
All right, let's get into the Roman cancel. So top 5 Roman cancels that you use.
Okay, so the first Roman cancel I explained before is the dive kick into red RC, right? Dive kick in the red RC is really strong. Even the tutorial will tell you to do this, right? Because this is, as I mentioned before, -6 on block. So you want to be able to cancel this. So if you block it, right? Whoops, I did fast Roman cancel. I just block it. Hold on. Right? It allows you to re-engage. You see that? Even though you're minus, the red Roman cancel when you spend it here will make you plus, right? So, yeah, that's the first Roman cancel really in and of itself. If I hit the Roman cancel, right? So if I hit it, you can get a combo, right? You get a multitude of conversions. Let me hold up and do this next one here. Right, you can get a multitude of conversions off of it. So the whole point is that if you want to get in, this is going to be one thing you got to look out for if you're fighting against Ino. She's going to want to try to do this or HS Sultry to basically get started. So, yeah, like that's the first Roman cancel. The second roaming cancel I like to do, so I want you to stand block. Yeah, stand block. Is this. I like to do on some overhead situations. So usually, like, if I knock somebody down and I do note, right, and they block, well, if they guess correctly on my high, what I like to do is I like to do note, and then I'll do high, and then dash, forward dash, BRC. The reason for this, why that happens, even though I'm hitting you, right, with a normal, I'm forward dashing to then end up in a neutral state where I'm not hitting you, and blue RC will kick in. BRC is a very strong roaming cancel because it adds the most hit stun and the most slowdown. With this, you can cause a lot of very crazy situations. You get to basically do fuzzy guard break. So what I want you to do, I want you to block this high and then try to crouch after you block the jump slash from the BRC. So watch. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
You want to knock me down? Okay.
Yeah, I'll knock you down normally. Yeah. You don't have to walk forward. I'll knock you down normally. And then you just block high. You see how that's a fuzzy? Like, if you didn't block high after the jump P, like, if you didn't block high after the jump P, the jump slash would catch you, right? So, this all connects also as a combo. So that's the setup that I like to do, and it's very hard to react to. Like, I had to tell you basically to block high. But the point is that that's a fuzzy guard break. And you can also go low as well, right? You don't have to do the hop. You can go low and mix it up. So that's really strong for her mix-up scenarios when you knock someone down. That's another roaming cancel that I do. The next roaming cancel, and it's a very like clutch one to do, is slash stroke PRC. Slash stroke PRC is important because this move you can't combo from, right? So so what I want you to do, King J, you see that button on top of you, right? Mm-hmm. That button is stagger. Mm-hmm. So you need to basically press that before the green bar goes away. Like press up. Yeah, you see how it flashed gold there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that means if I went for another attack after and you blocked, you see how it doesn't connect? But if you don't do the stagger, then it counts as a combo. You see that?
Yeah.
So I don't normally get a conversion from slash stroke. But if I do PRC, I get a conversion. See that?
That's crazy.
I don't want to red RC because if I red RC, I will add proration and you'll pop up in the air, right? It'll do significantly less damage. See, I did 111, right? But if I did PRC, that did 131. See that? So that's important as an Eno player to know, because if you manage to tag this, because this is a low, and like I said before, they're going to have to throw HS stroke, and you cannot crouch and throw at the same time. You must stand. So if I see that you're throwing and I do S stroke, right, and I do PRC, then I get a conversion, and I get to go off, right? So, yeah, like, that's another roaming cancel that I would recommend to you to do. So that's 3 so far, right? Mm-hmm. Another roaming cancel that I would recommend doing would be, if I were to say correctly, well, there's not really too many roaming cancel situations, but I could think of one more that I would do. So there's another mix-up scenario. If I do 2K2D into note, right, I can PRC this note. Similar to, like, if she had YRC in Exard, I could do PRC and slow you down, right? And I could make it so that way the note will connect on your body, right? Like that.
Whoa.
And what can happen from it is I can create a high-low mix-up from that as well that I am more advantaged on, and I can go for dust, right? Whoops. I can go for her standing dust. Let's try to do this one more time. No, that's not what I want. Like that. See that? I can go for overhead dust, or I could go for standing dust on the ground. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, I'm doing it too late. Like that. And then that standing dust, like let's say you block the note. If you had blocked the note, then the dust is another mix-up, and you basically get your dust confirmed.
Oh.
Whoops. Let me try to do that correctly. Yeah, you get your dust confirmed from that. So this basically allows you to open up, like, not just a high-low, but you get, you know, your actual grounded dust, and it becomes a legit unseeable mix-up because the note is on top of you. The note is orange. This is orange. So you're not going to be able to tell if I'm doing dust or not because you're already getting hit by this orange note. That's why it's there. So the other thing, too, about this PRC situation is that if I do note like this, right? If I do PRC note, I can also get a cross-up note, right? If I time it correctly. I can also get a cross-up note, which is also insane, right? But I can't really get like a confirm off of it per se, unless like I backdash after. But that is another way to use PRC with her note, not just with not with Stroke the Big Tree. And then the last implication for Roman cancel that I like to use, the more practical one anyway. This is the one that Daru would do, and it's usually Stroke the Big Tree into her Fortissimo. So you want to do fast purple Roman cancel into Megalomania. So it's gonna look something like this if I can do it. Oops. I gotta get it right. I got it right the first time. Like that.
Whoa.
Yeah. So they'll be looking for the low, right? Or they'll be looking for like you to hop in, and then you just do fast Roman cancel into the command grab. And you can do it with HS stroke too. Like it's like if Soul did his ground Viper or his ground Vortex into purple Roman cancel wild throw. It's the same thing, only your command grab is just better. So yeah, like that. This is another part of the mix-up that they got to worry about as well. So I'll just show it off one more time. It's very annoying to do because you got to do it really fast, like that.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah, there it is. So yeah, basically you essentially get a full screen command grab. So, but that's 100 tension, right? So, but
okay.
that's the last. That's the last Roman cancel. So in a nutshell, you have dive kick RC, right? You have Stroke the Big Tree PRC. You have Nope PRC. You have the Fuzzy Guard break PRC, right? And then you have the fast Roman cancel into command grab. Those are the 5 that I would do. I could throw in a 6th one, but this one is a little more impractical. It's off of dust, right? So you can get multiple jump HSs with BRC, but I didn't want to cover too much into that because that's a little more like stylish, just a little more impractical. But yeah, those are the Roman cancel.
All right, nicely done, man. Like those Roman cancels look really nice, man. Like just the way how you cancel them, and you know, just combos, and then you got the ones that are not so like combos. It's the tricky ones, like is he gonna go for the low? Oh no, you got command grab. Looks really nice. So we're gonna go on to the next part. So this is, what does your character strive for? So if you can tell me, like just briefly, just touch on it. Like what is your character looking for when you are playing, you know, Eno?
Okay, so basically, with all the notes that well, no pun intended, with all the things that I described about the character, you essentially know that she wants to get in, right? But she has to take risks to do so. When she finally gets that hit, right, be it from dive kick, she'll be trying to do like HS stroke to get the meaty from it, or she'll try to hop in, either or. The point is that she wants to land the knockdown so she can get started. A lot of her play will revolve around her getting either 2K 2D, which is her main Gatling, or if she gets a high, like if she gets like one of her hover hops into jump S, she's going to do this into 6 HS stroke. And both of these situations cause a hard knockdown, meaning that the opponent cannot tech up or wake up after this. Even this one, they can't get up off of. She wants that knockdown. In the changes too, they made it so that way, unless you're absolute max range, this will never whiff, right? This is max range that I just did it at. That's max range. But they increased the range of 2K, or they decreased the pushback on 2K, so that way 2D will connect. So they definitely want to incentivize you to get this knockdown. Especially in situations where you can punish people so you can get started. Because ideally, you want this to happen. You want to put the note on top of them, and then now they have to worry about the high-low mix-up. You could go high with it, right? And then get your party started. Or you could go low, right? And start from there. That's the whole premise of this character, right? And then everything else becomes a mind game. So, like, if I go for another hop again, right, because my hop is so low to the ground, I could do that, but then you can 5P this, right? So if I, after the first hop, like, block the note and then block the high, right? And then, yep, yeah, that's the mind game. You can jab me there. But I don't have to do that. I could do stroke the victory. Whoops. And go underneath your high, right? I can also just go straight for a low as well, right? And then basically hit you for that if you try to press your 5P, because it hits, it basically will high crush your normal, or it'll low profile your normal. So yeah, that's basically what she is trying to do. And in the corner, she gets rewarded heavily for it. Her damage output will increase because she doesn't do that much damage normally, right? This is her base damage without any meter. It's like 100 damage. And if she lands the 2K into 2D, it's like 45. So she doesn't do that much damage on her own. But the moment she gets meter, or the moment that, like, she gets you in the corner, the damage can get, like, ridiculous. So, hold up. Whoops. Let me try one more time. Okay, I'll just do this conversion for now. And then you could get, I think 6 HS. But you could do this too. That's 143, and that keeps the wall, right? But she's got, basically her conversions get even more damaging when she's at the corner. So it makes it so that way you don't want to get hit by her in the corner. Because if you get hit by her in the corner, then the damage becomes ridiculous. I could probably do jump K, jump D. My bad. Sorry. Because I know 6 HS should work here. But let me try jump K, jump D for now. One more time. Sorry about this.
No, you're good.
Okay. Oh, dive kick. I'm being dumb. Sorry. There we go. Like, you definitely don't want to get hit by, like, a high, because then now it's half health, right? In the corner, it's half health. And she doesn't have to do that. She can go into this instead, which will keep the wall and also does a hard knockdown, so it forces the high-low situation again, right? Yeah. On top of this, she also has safe jumps that she's going to want to do. Because of her hover hop and the way it works, she gets a lot of safe jump scenarios where you can't actually DP her and you can't press a button. So, I don't know if it's too much to ask, but can you switch to Soul?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm just going to ask you to do is just do a reversal DP on the knockdown.
Yep. To DP on knockdown.
Yep, S Volcanic Viper, SDP.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you can't mash it. You gotta actually time it, because it's a very tight window for it to be a reversal.
I really can't get
it. It's hard. It's hard. Try doing it. Yeah, I know you could do it. It's literally like the reversal timing is just fucked up.
Okay.
You gotta do it when he stands up. Like the moment you see him stand up, that's when you input it. Almost.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta wait till he's fully up to do it.
that's crazy.
I know, it's so crazy. That's not even reversal timing what you did. Right? 3 frames, man. 3-frame reversal timing. There it is. Yeah, that's the timing for it. It's hard. It's hard.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah. But basically this is a safe jump, right? You can't DP this. Better yet, you know Soul's 5K is 3 frames, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just press that on wake up. I'll counter hit it like immediately. Whoops. Whoops. Do it properly. See? So I'll beat it out, and then I get another conversion, and it just loops into itself, right? You're gonna know that, like, a lot of the time with Eno players, they're not gonna do note all the time. They're gonna do, they're also going to do safe jumps. There's a variety of safe jumps that she has that she can do, and she's gonna want to go for these to make sure that she doesn't get DP'd on, and that she doesn't get, and that she gets her pressure, basically. On top of this, she also has the safe jump throw OS as well that everyone has. But I know reversals are pretty hard to do right now. So there's that. And the last thing I want to just explain, and this is probably the biggest deal with the character, what she really wants. Her win condition is really that high-low set play. And if she can get this off, so like, if she can do this, it's a wrap. Because now she gets to force the constant high-low set play. And this is because of the wall splat tech that was found, where if you get wall splatted on by a grounded normal, so any normal that doesn't cause airborne property, so any normal that doesn't launch you, so 2D launches you, dive kick will launch you, 6HS second hit will launch you, right? Any move that doesn't launch you and the opponent is already grounded, if I do a wall splat, so basically if I get the wall splat off, this includes stroke the victory, then it's a consistent mix-up with safe jumps. You do plink dash, you plink the dash button with HS, so the HS whiffs and cancels the dash at the lowest possible point. And with this, you can create a safe jump that's also a high-low mix-up. So it's extremely, like, infuriating for the person on the receiving end, because now they have to worry about high, low, or command grab, right? You literally have to guess between those 3 options. Whoops. Right? So that is literally what she wants to do to you in the corner. When she gets the wall splat, it becomes extremely annoying to deal with her. So
Nice. Well, I think I think that's a lot of, you've told me a lot about this character, man. This is a lot of information for sure.
I love this character, man.
I can tell. I know, definitely. This is like, you've told me a lot about the character, like, and even just character specific things as well. Like, it's really, really interesting, man. But yeah, no, thank you very, very much, man, for telling me like everything about the character. What are your social medias for people to follow you? You know, if you stream, if you if you got YouTube content, Twitter, all of that stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you guys can follow me on twitch.tv/Sonic_Sol. That's basically the main place where I stream a lot of fighting games daily, basically at this point. You can also go on my YouTube channel, so that's youtube.com/user/SonicSol. You just type SonicSol on YouTube and you'll find me. And And on my Twitter, it's the same Sonic_Soul. That's my @ tag. And lastly, the main thing is coaching. So I do a lot of coaching on Metafy.gg for a multitude of games. So this ranges from Street Fighter V, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, Samurai Showdown, and this game, Guilty Gear Strive. And I also try to coach a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! On the side. So yeah, Metafy.com, Metafy.gg / @Sonic_Soul. You can get coaching sessions from me, and I break things down just like this all the time for people, and I can help you out. That's pretty much all of my social media and where you can reach me. So
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for today's Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me episode. Really appreciate it.
yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
Excellent, man. So everyone, make sure you go check him out. Remember to subscribe on both channels. Follow and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Give us a thumbs up as well. We're going to be on to the next Guilty Gear Strive Teach Me episode. Hope you lot enjoyed. We'll be on to the next one. Take it easy.